All right, so welcome to our December meeting. Wrap up an eventful year. Um, as always, we start with what's new. We'll talk about a few items of interest. We'll mention any uh, past or upcoming conferences, and then we'll talk about things that we missed in this little presentation. So first off is macOS 13.1, which was released literally like a week ago. And why did that do that?
13.1 problems.
Yeah,
Apparently it didn't fix that bug.
apparently not. Okay. So there's a lot of bug fixes that were included in 13.1, including, I think, a gatekeeper one, which was recently talked about, which is another gatekeeper bypass. I didn't make it into the slides, but there was definitely that article going around from Microsoft that had like the history of the gatekeeper bypasses, and what particularly this one did. And a few other things were included as well. The freeform app is now included with this version of Ventura, and it was also announced like there's some additional advanced data protection for iCloud, which includes end-to-end encryption and other encryption as well. So it's basically the upshot is the only people who will have access to your data will be you going forward. And I know that is probably going to annoy law enforcement, but I'd rather have that than the other one. So so Ventura is available as a. We talked about this before when Ventura was released, but if you're running Monterey 12.3 or higher, Ventura is now presented as a minor release, and also does not require admin rights to install. So it's essentially a Delta update that gets installed. And there was a lot of talk, obviously, when Ventura was released about delaying and all that. And how unless you were on 10.6.1, it wouldn't honor any of the deferments. So, but now the 13.1, if you're on 12.6.1 or higher and you're still deferring, I think one of the big things is that the no, you didn't want to do that. One of the big things was that the most of the deferment periods was up to 90 days, and I think that might have passed already. So folks who had deferment profiles in place would start to see Ventura being offered. So and I don't know if, because I'm not using any deferment profiles, but if anybody knows if you can put in a new profile to prevent 13, or if you have to put in a new profile to prevent 13.1 from being seen if you don't already want it to be seen, if that's something. There's also updates to Monterey. We're at 12.62. More security fixes, but as you've noticed, there's a difference between at least 20 different CVEs that are not applicable to the Monterey update. And this goes in line with what Apple has posted, because they had that article that they said that that not due to various circumstances, not all the security fixes that they published for the current operating system will be backported down to other older operating systems. So one of the things I didn't talk about was at least for enterprise. I think this applies for both Monterey and Ventura. There was a fix for when you do erase all contents and settings, sometimes the Wi-Fi menu item wouldn't show up when it wants you to activate. Um, and that fix should have been put in. There's also a fix for another Wi-Fi issue that seemed to have popped up on for folks on Ventura, is if you're in an area with a lot of Ventura devices. I think the threshold was at least 15, and we're on the same AP. It affected Wi-Fi, and it basically made it crawl to a halt. So that's actually been addressed in 13.1. So if that's something you've been seeing in your environment, definitely want to get those machines up to 13.1 for that. And they've also fixed issues with where Rosetta 2 was being removed when you updated, and also printers were being removed when you updated. So that shouldn't happen going forward, but we'll see. Anyway, moving on. For items of interest, as we mentioned, Apple introduced some more security features for iCloud, which is kind of a big deal. Also, RSRs, which are just those security updates, are now available for testing, and Apple is looking for feedback. So make sure you test those out, because that's probably going to be a thing going forward. And if there's something that doesn't work or doesn't work as expected, we'll want them to know now rather than later. Oh, and there's the Microsoft post about the gatekeeper exploit that I was talking about earlier. So also of interest, the security compliance project released 1.1, which for Ventura. So there are some changes because of some changes in features of the OS that obviously necessitate they've changed in the security appliance project for guidance around that. I haven't reviewed all of it, but I probably will, because that'll affect what we do here. But that's out now, so please take a look at that. So I forget what the last official conference was, but I think it might have been Objective by the Sea, but I don't remember. Anyway, all the videos are online for that one are now. All the videos are online for Mac DevOps YVR, and all the campfire sessions are online, as well as the ones from Mac Sysadmin. And finally, all the JNUC videos are on YouTube now, so you don't need to sign up for JNUC anymore to get to those videos, which is good, because that app wasn't great.